So there was a tough effort there. The effort was there. Again, you didn't get the results. Tough game. You lose DeSalvo to a injury, and then in the third quarter, South gets the red card, and he's your leading point scorer. So, but you're able to come back and tie it, and then get that fluky goal right afterwards. So it's just
yeah,
tough night.
A rough night, rough season. I think it's a small snapshot of the adversity that we faced. With all sorts of things on the field, whether it's ourselves, whether it's the other team, whether it's other intangibles that we don't have control over. It just seems that nothing seems to want to go our way this season, and it's not an excuse. Again, I'm a firm believer, and I tell guys that I think you create your own luck. And at moments we look good, at moments we do things, but we can't rely on desperation. We can't rely on the emotionalism of a game to dictate how we're going to play. And I think that's something that we've struggled with when there's a lack of quality to really just find ways to elevate our game, and we have to kind of rely on some of these other intangibles, which Coach Ginter and I were talking about. When you play with too much emotion, that's when you start making emotional mistakes. And so, I think we struggle picking and choosing our times to really up the energy, and it just needs to be something more consistent.
And again, the third quarter was tied at halftime, and come out and they go up by and score a couple of goals there in the third quarter to take the lead. And
we tried different things: waiting longer, coming out earlier, long talks, short talks, getting into the guys, building them up. I wish I had a magic formula as to what would allow us to come out better in the third. I mean, we have a great start to games usually. First half tends to be good for us, and again, adversity happens, and that's just part of the game, and momentum shifts, and we've got to just do a better job of controlling how big those swings go. And, I thought we did a better job. Milwaukee, we gave up 4 unanswered. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But I know that we did stop the run at some point in the third, which is big. Anytime there's momentum shifts, you've got to learn to stop the runs. And when you get on runs, you got to try to prolong them as long as you can. So I'm proud of the guys for stopping the run. I think, we ended up getting it tied again,
right.
Which was big. And now it just becomes, how do we close out games? How do we close out quarters? How do we finish off teams when when the time is critical.
Gary Bowden mentioned possibly about the third quarter, maybe having a shorter halftime. Does the league set how long the halftime is, or does the home team decide how many minutes?
I'm unaware of that. I know for myself as a player, regardless if we waited for an hour, it's my responsibility as a player to be ready to go. And I think that's just part of a professional. Every job has its different ups and downs, whatever. And at this point in the season, we should have it figured out by now.
They say you got 3 games left. You're out of the playoff chase now. What's the approach to close out the season?
The approach is we're professionals. We're getting paid to do a job, regardless of if that's playoffs or not. And so my approach, and I expect the players' approach to be, is you're getting paid to do a job, and our job is to go out and train hard every day and come out and play, and not just compete to play to win. And so that's the mentality going forward. Obviously, for me, one of the things I've challenged the guys with is, this idea of why do you play? If it's just for the fans and just for the playoffs and things like that, I think it's a pretty limited motivation. And so, is the goal really to pursue excellence every time we step out on the field? And so those opportunities are still out there. And so for a coach, I can now go and assess guys and say, who are the guys who really are true professionals? Who are the guys who are still going to take care of themselves, are still going to go out and represent themselves, this organization, and this team in a positive way? And to me, that's revealing of character in guys that I know moving forward, we want to continue with. The guys who don't want to do that, then it's not a threat, but as a coach, I have to say, is this the right mentality and the right personnel that I want to have moving forward?
Then on Salsa's foul language red card, that's the first time I've ever heard a red card being given for foul language. It could be something that's more typical, just something I'm not aware of anyway.
No, actually, well, what I was told by the official was that he was threatened. I was standing right there when Mauricio came out and said the guy hit me with an elbow, was what he said specifically. That's exactly what was said. And I was standing right there. There was no threat to the referee. And so, the explanation I was given does not correlate with what the player said.
Of course, then the drawback, again, that was early in the third quarter, so you didn't have his services for the rest of the game, and you're going to miss him, I guess, with the one-game suspension, at Pennsylvania.
Yes, to lose a player of that quality, it hurts. Again, do I think we have guys who can, again, do we still have opportunities, even with Mauricio not in the lineup, to get the result? Yes. And so, unfortunately, we've had injuries and different things all season long, and so it shouldn't be a surprise to other guys, the idea of next man up. And so I think everyone's had plenty of opportunities to get game experience, to get game time, but why you can't replace someone like Mauricio Salas, I don't feel that that's an excuse as to why we still can't go out and get a result. But it sure does help to have him.